Here is what Donald Trump wants to do in his first 100 days at the end of October. Donald Trump spoke in Gettysburg, PA, and released a plan for his first 100 days in office. The plan, below, outlines three main areas of focus: cleaning up Washington, including by imposing term limits on Congress, protecting American workers, and restoring rule of law. He also laid out his plan for working with Congress to introduce 10 pieces of legislation that would repeal Obamacare, fund the construction of a wall at the southern border, with a provision that Mexico would reimburse the U.S., encourage infrastructure investment, rebuild military bases, promote school choice and more. On Wednesday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell mostly made nice with Trump but also shot down or expressed little enthusiasm in some of his plans. On Trump's proposal to impose term limits on Congress, McConnell said, "It will not be on the agenda in the Senate." McConnell has been a long-standing opponent of term limits. As NPR's Susan Davis reports, "I would say we have term limits now, they're called elections." McConnell also threw some cold water on Trump's infrastructure plans, calling it not a top priority. McConnell did say repealing Obamacare is a pretty high item on our agenda, along with comprehensive tax reform and achieving border security in whatever way is the most effective. But he also declined to discuss the Senate's immigration agenda further. "We look forward to working with him," McConnell said. "I think most of the things that he's likely to advocate we're going to be enthusiastically for." Below is the 100-day plan Trump's campaign released in October, called Donald Trump's Contract with the American Voter. "What follows is my 100-day action plan to make America great again. It is a contract between myself and the American voter, and begins with restoring honesty, accountability and change to Washington. Therefore, on the first day of my term of office, my administration will immediately pursue the following 6 measures to clean up the corruption and special interest collusion in Washington, D.C. First, propose a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. Second, a hiring freeze on all federal employees to reduce federal workforce through attrition, exempting military, public safety, and public health. Third, a requirement that for every new federal regulation, 2 existing regulations must be eliminated. Fourth, a 5-year ban on White House and congressional officials becoming lobbyists after they leave government service. Fifth, a lifetime ban on White House officials lobbying on behalf of a foreign government. Sixth, a complete ban on foreign lobbyists raising money for American elections. On the same day, I will begin taking the following 7 actions to protect American workers. First, I will announce my intention to renegotiate NAFTA or withdraw from the deal under Article 2205. Second, I will announce our withdrawal from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Third, I will direct my Secretary of the Treasury to label China a currency manipulator. Fourth, I will direct the Secretary of Commerce and U.S. Trade Representative to identify all foreign trading abuses that unfairly impact American workers and direct them to use every tool under American and international law to end those abuses immediately. Fifth, I will lift the restrictions on the production of $50 trillion worth of job-producing American energy reserves, including shale, oil, natural gas and clean coal. Sixth, lift the Obama-Clinton roadblocks and allow vital energy infrastructure projects, like the Keystone Pipeline, to move forward. Seventh, cancel billions in payments to UN climate change programs and use the money to fix America's water and environmental infrastructure. Additionally, on the first day, I will take the following 5 actions to restore security in the constitutional rule of law. First, cancel every unconstitutional executive action, memorandum and order issued by President Obama. Second, begin the process of selecting a replacement for Justice Scalia from one of the 20 judges on my list. who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Third, cancel all federal funding to sanctuary cities. Fourth, begin removing the more than 2 million criminal illegal immigrants from the country and cancel visas to foreign countries that won't take them back. Fifth, suspend immigration from terror-prone regions where vetting cannot safely occur. All vetting of people coming into our country will be considered extreme vetting. Next, I will work with Congress to introduce the following broader legislative measures and fight for their passage within the first 100 days of my administration. Middle Class Tax Relief and Simplification Act. An economic plan designed to grow the economy 4% per year and create at least 25 million new jobs through massive tax reduction and simplification. In combination with trade reform, regulatory relief, and lifting the restrictions on American energy. The largest tax reductions are for the middle class. A middle-class family with 2 children will get a 35% tax cut. The current number of brackets will be reduced from 7 to 3, and tax forms will likewise be greatly simplified. The business rate will be lowered from 35 to 15%, and the trillions of dollars of American corporate money overseas can now be brought back at a 10% rate. And the Offshoring Act establishes tariffs to discourage companies from laying off their workers in order to relocate in other countries and ship their products back to the U.S. tax-free. American Energy and Infrastructure Act leverages public-private partnerships and private investments through tax incentives to spur $1 trillion in infrastructure investment over 10 years. It is revenue neutral. School Choice and Education Opportunity Act redirects education dollars to give parents the right to send their kid to the public, private, charter, magnet, religious or home school of their choice. Ends Common Corp brings education supervision to local communities. It expands vocational and technical education and make 2- and 4-year college more affordable. Repeal and replace Obamacare Act fully repeals Obamacare and replaces it with health savings accounts. The ability to purchase health insurance across state lines, and let states manage Medicaid funds. Reforms will also include cutting the red tape at the FDA. There are over 4,000 drugs awaiting approval, and we especially want to speed the approval of life-saving medications. Affordable Child Care and Elder Care Act allows Americans to deduct child care and elder care from their taxes, incentivizes employers to provide on-site child care services, and creates tax-free dependent care savings accounts for both young and elderly dependents, with matching contributions for low-income families. And Illegal Immigration Act fully funds the construction of a wall on our southern border with the full understanding that the county Mexico will be reimbursing the United States for the full cost of such wall. Establishes a 2-year mandatory minimum federal prison sentence for illegally re-entering the U.S. after a previous deportation, and a 5-year mandatory minimum for illegally re-entering for those with felony convictions, multiple misdemeanor convictions, or 2 or more prior deportations. Also reforms visa rules to enhance penalties for overstaying and to ensure open jobs are offered to American workers first. Restoring Community Safety Act reduces surging crime, drugs and violence by creating a task force on violent crime and increasing funding for programs that train and assist local police. Increases resources for federal law enforcement agencies and federal prosecutors to dismantle criminal gangs and put violent offenders behind bars. Restoring National Security Act rebuilds our military by eliminating the defense sequester and expanding military investment. Provides veterans with the ability to receive public VA treatment or attend the private doctor of their choice. Protects our vital infrastructure from cyber attack. Establishes new screening procedures for immigration to ensure those who are admitted to our country support our people and our values. Clean up corruption in Washington Act enacts new ethics reforms to drain the swamp and reduce the corrupting influence of special interests on our politics. On November 8, Americans will be voting for this 100-day plan to restore prosperity to our economy, security to our communities, and honesty to our government. This is my pledge to you. And if we follow these steps, we will once more have a government of by and for the people.